Okay, this is Target 2F, Simplifying Complex Expressions, retake video. So let's just remember a couple things. Remember I is I squared is -1, I cubed is -I, and I to the fourth is 1. So order of operations is I have to do the exponent. So that means I have to FOIL 5 minus 3i. Then, once I get the answer to that, I'm going to distribute that I through. But first, let's just FOIL. So when I do the first, I get 5 times 5, which is 25. When I do the inners, I get -15i. And the inners again is another -15i. And then the last would give me positive 9i squared. And remember, I squared is -1. So I have I, and then 25 minus 15i minus 15i, and then remember I squared is -1. So this is I, 25 minus 30i, and then 9 times -1 is -9. So I have I, and 25 minus 9 is 16, so 16 minus 30i. But now I have to distribute this I through, and I get 16i, and then minus 30i squared. But don't forget, I squared is -1. So I have 16i times -30 times the -1, which is 16i plus 30. But we need to write it in the form 30 plus 16i. And number 2. I am not allowed to have an I in the basement because I represents the square root of -1, and you're not allowed to have radicals in the basement. So to fix this, I'm going to multiply by the complex conjugate, so there'd be -3 minus 4i. But what I do to the denominator, I must also do to the numerator. And then I'm going to do some FOILing upstairs and downstairs. So -2 times -3 is positive 6. The inners give me -15i. The outers give me 8i. And the last give me -20i squared. But don't forget, I squared is -1. Then here, I get 9. And then I get positive 12i and -12i. And then -16i squared. So here I have 6, and then minus 15i plus 8i, that's -7i. -15 plus 8 is -7, and remember I squared is -1, so I get -20 times -1, which is positive 20. Positive 20. And then in the denominator, I have 9, these cancel, and remember I have -16 times -1, which is positive 16. So that's a 16. So combining like terms, it looks like I get 26 minus 7i on the top, and on the bottom I get 9 plus 16, which is 25. Okay, so the following are the practice problems. Here's number 1, and here's number 2. Good luck.